So children, nice to be back to you all. And today we are going to really feel something different because today I am going to share a beautiful story, a science fiction story for you, with you all. Are we ready? I will not name the story right now. Let us listen to a few lines of introduction and then we can move on with the story. Children, whenever we are troubled with the harsh realities of life, with the practical situations of life, that time we want to escape from responsibilities, from the burdens of life, right? That time we would like to imagine of a beautiful place, of some beautiful moment when nothing troubles us, nothing bothers us. We live a carefree life, as happy as we wish to be, with no botheration, no compulsions, no obligations. And we live such a carefree life that we wish to live that kind of life always. So this story is going to narrate that kind of experience that was experienced by the protagonist, Charlie, the main character of the story. The story is written by Jack Finney. Jack Finney was an American author and he is very well known for his science fiction stories and thrillers, including his books like The Body Snatcher and Time and Again. So let us begin the story. Get ready for a wonderful experience with Charlie in the story, The Third Level by Jack Finney. So we begin with the story, The Third Level by Jack Finney. So we begin with the story, The Third Level by Jack Finney. Now see, this third level by Jack Finney, just as I had told you before, it is all about the rough realities of modern day problems. The harsh realities of modern day problems. Life is not at all very happy for all of us. Every day we are facing some problem or the other, some new responsibility or the other. So we always try to escape from these kind of problems, right? By some way, by some means, we want to escape. And the narrator here Jack Finney mixes the psychological journey of Charlie. The psychological means the state of mind, the mental journey of Charlie, the main character of this story, of this science fiction story, with past, present, and moves towards the future. See, a beautiful journey is well explained, and as we turn the pages, as we read the story, we will find how exciting sometimes our imagination could be. The third level at Grand Central Station. Grand Central Station of New York has got two levels from where the commuters take trains to different destinations. There are two floors or two levels at the Grand Central Station of New York. And from each of these two floors, the commuters take trains to different destinations. But Charlie, a 31-year-old dweller of the city, talks about there being three. Not one, not two, but there are three levels. That is what Charlie tried to define, Charlie tried to say. But no third level was ever built. There was no existence of third level at all. But Charlie, not only does he believe in the existence of this imaginary third level, he not only believes but also claims to have used it in the time frame of 1890s. In the year 1890s, Charlie claims that he had used it once during that time. The period of 1890s actually represented a very peaceful life, a very happy life. Why was Charlie so interested in 1890s? Why he wanted to escape? to that 1890, to the year 1890. Why he wanted to escape? Because that period represented a very, very happy, peaceful life that is not possible in the present times. From this level, Charlie wants to travel with his wife to to Galesburg, Illinois. Now, from this level means from the current level, from this state of the world, Charlie wants to travel with his wife Louisa. He wants to take a journey with his wife Louisa to Galesburg, Illinois in the year that he had visited already in the year 1890s. He wanted to visit that time, that moment, that place. What was the name of that place mentioned here? That is Galesburg. He wanted to go to that place, Illinois, with his wife once more. Okay, and what happened? It is a kind of waking dream wish fulfillment. It is a kind of, he went to his psychiatrist friend, and his psychiatrist friend, he diagnosed Charlie, and he calls this problem as waking dream wish fulfillment, a pleasant wish. It is a kind of a high feeling that makes you forget about the present. You will be full of that kind of feeling, a kind of high feeling, a kind of extreme happiness inside you that makes you forget everything that is happening with you at the moment or happening around you at the moment. Now, what happens? We go on to the next portion and we see that Charlie visited a psychiatrist friend of his to talk about this problem. In the last portion, I had discussed that the problem was discussed with his friend, and the friend calls it a waking dream wish fulfillment and justifies. He tries to reason himself that Charlie's mental state is at the moment full of insecurity, fear, and war. So Charlie at the moment is full of insecurity, full of fear. Like we all are at the moment full of insecurity, fear, worry, because we are not happy at the state of the things that is happening with us and around us. And we would like to escape from this kind of situation. We want some peaceful moments far away from the madding crowd, far away from reality. All of us want. You want, I want, all of us want some temporary shelter far, far away from this madding crowd. According to him, according to whom? According to that psychiatrist, even hobbies like stamp collection is a manifestation. Manifestation means example. If you are having a hobby like stamp collection, it is also an example that you are trying to escape from the world that is full of insecurity, fear, worries and everything. You are trying to escape. Hobbies like stamp collection. And then we move on to the main part of the story. Almost now we are happening to reach the third level. Now slowly I am taking you to the third level now. Hold on. What is the beginning of this journey to the third level? Charlie, one evening he was working very late at the office and decided to take the subway from the Grand Central Station. He decided to take the subway because he was in a hurry to go back home. So he wanted to take the subway from the Grand Central Station. He turned into the Grand Central Station from Vanderbilt Avenue and went down to the first level where one could catch trains like the present times. He was down on the first level, first floor, or you can say first platform, where one could take trains like the present times. Then he walked down the second platform or the second level from where the trains left for suburban areas. Suddenly he bent into an archway door. As he was walking on the second platform, he bent into an archway door heading for the subway and got lost. What happened to him? What happened with him? He was lost. He had got lost previously also. Now, I would not say that fine details right here because time is limited. We will just find it out from our text when he had got lost previously. And maybe we'll have a short one-line answer on that. I'm waiting for you to find it out, right? But this time, I'm taking you to something more unique. Like the previous time, he was lost and he found his way back. But this time, something very different happens. He discovers the third level. Charlie discovers the third level. The third level now for Charlie. Charlie keeps walking in the quiet corridor, turning left, moving here, moving there, till he reaches an old station that is very different from platform 1 and platform 2. The oldish small room with fewer ticket counters and train gates, a wooden information booth, flickering gas lights, and brass spittoons. Spittoons means the containers for spitting into. Reminded him of the architecture of the 1800s. He also finds that people are dressed in outdated outfits. Outdated means old, not used anymore. So he was transported to the year 1894. He notices that the date on the newspaper that was named The World. In the newspaper, The World. That is the name of the newspaper. And the date is printed June 11, 1894. So Charlie has been transported to that year and time. As he gives money to the clerk at the counter to buy 2 tickets. He gives money to the clerk to buy 2 tickets, one for himself and one for his wife. He realizes that he needs to have old currency bills because he had been transported to the old times, 1894. That time people were using old currency. So Charlie realizes that he also needs to have the old currency bill, not the present currency bill. Now Charlie's plan for a journey was not realized. Charlie had always wanted to travel to Galesburg with his wife Lisa. Galesburg was his dream place. Because it was a wonderful town with beautiful framed houses, huge lawns and tremendous trees. It is a place with long, pleasant summer evenings where people get a lot of time to spend in the evening. So the next day, he wanted to travel to Galesburg. And so the next day, why did Charlie exchange the $300? He exchanged the $300 for old style bills because he wanted to travel to Galesburg. And so the next day during lunch, he exchanges $300 for old style bills amounting to some 200 only. So he was at a loss. He did not get exact 300. He only got 200. The loss didn't bother him because that he believed that in Galesburg everything will be fine for him. Everything will be cheaper and he can manage life with a very small amount. But he could never again find the corridor leading to the third level. First he had found out the corridor leading to the third level. On the next day, he wasn't able to discover the corridor once again. And so his plan for a journey was never realized. And then suddenly Sam goes missing. Who was Sam? Sam was his psychiatrist friend. Suddenly Sam goes missing. His wife Louisa was very upset after knowing all this because Charlie was looking madly for the corridor leading to the third level. But he couldn't find the corridor. The wife became very upset and requested him not to look for the corridor anymore. Suddenly, Charlie realizes that his friend Sam Winner is nowhere to be found, and so he and his wife keep looking for him in the weekends because Sam was the only one with whom Charlie used to share his ideas, his imaginations about Galesburg, his dream place. Philately and the first day covers. Philately is not just a stamp collection, my dear children, but it is a very big term, including the study of stamps, postal history, and other related items. When any new stamp is issued, when it is out in the market on the first day, people normally mail a blank paper to themselves. Now, supposing if I am the one, I will be mailing a blank paper to myself and then keep that unopened. I will not need to open that letter because I know that what is there inside. There's a blank paper. So I won't be opening that letter, but I will be preserving that stamp with the date on the postmark. Right. So Charlie got this beautiful hobby and collection from his grandfather. So Charlie also got this kind of hobby. So he was very, very passionate about philately. And now what happens? He discovers a letter from Sam. One day while he was looking for something with his stamp collection, among his stamp collection, he was looking for something. Charlie comes across a letter that was not there before. It wasn't there before. Suddenly discovers a letter. It had the postmark on a faded 6-cent stamp with the picture of the President Garfield. That was the president in 1894. He was the president in 1894. The envelope was sent on July 1894 to Charlie's grandfather in Galesburg. The person had sent it to Charlie's grandfather in Galesburg. So again Charlie is going to mentally he is again in Galesburg and he saw in that letter that Galesburg address is there and it was addressed to Charlie. And the letter read that Sam had already reached Galesburg and is having a gala time, a beautiful time, a happy time there. He also invited Charlie and Louisa to Galesburg. Upon reaching Galesburg, he invited Charlie and Louisa to Galesburg. When Charlie was very excited. So he closes the letter and next day he goes to the stamp and coin store to buy some old currency bills. And at that time, he is informed of Sam's exchanging $800 for old currency bills. Sam had been already there at the store and Sam had exchanged $800, that is the current money, for old currency bills to establish his business of hay and grain in Galesburg. So Sam had already left for Galesburg and with that old currency bill to establish his own business of what? Of hay and grain in Galesburg. And the letter was written by Sam Winner, who was Charlie's psychiatrist. Look, that is the biggest irony we are ending here with what we are ending here at the beginning. This same psychiatrist friend told Charlie that there is no existence of such a kind of world. We all want to escape, and that kind of world exists only in our mind, only in our happy state of mind. Actually, that kind of world or the third level that Charlie was looking for at that time when he had gone to the psychiatrist, that third level is never there because it had never existed. But who had actually journeyed to the third level? The psychiatrist himself. And so, the concluding part of the story, the letter talked about how the writer wished his third level story was true and he actually started believing it to be true. The letter talked about how the writer means how Sam wished Charlie's third level story was true because he also wanted to escape from the harsh realities of life. That psychiatrist also wanted to escape. So when Charlie had approached him, had gone to him for some cure, that he was looking for the third level for some solution, that time the writer of this letter, that is Sam wished Charlie's third level story was true. And he wished it so much that he actually started believing it to be true. That Sam actually started believing it to be true and found the third level, had been there for 2 weeks, and he had described the place also in the letter. Sam was so possessed. He was so full of his imagination that psychiatrist was transported to his imagination or to his imaginary third level, that he also requested, the psychiatrist also requested Charlie and Louis to never stop searching for the third level. That third level existed. You should never stop searching for the third level and come back to Galesburg. We will all have a happy time here. Right? So that is all for now, folks. Right? I hope you have understood and enjoyed the lesson. If you have doubts, please do connect with me, right? And we are going on to the word meanings. I have mentioned the difficult words along with their meanings for your reference. Please note them down in your notebooks neatly. There are 12 of them, and that ends the chapter. If you have doubts, once again I'm repeating, you can clear your doubts on the WhatsApp, right? Wish you a nice time ahead. No imaginations. We have to continue at our level, right, children?